Physiological, nutritional, and developmental benefits. Studies have shown that babies who were never given breast milk tend to have more problems with ear and respiratory infections, gastrointestinal issues, obesity, and diabetes. Going a step further, some studies have even suggested that breastfed babies are more intelligent than those raised on a bottle. In the Gambia, every woman is entitled to a period of 6 months maternity leave with salary or with comparable social benefits without loss of employment, seniority, or similar benefit. In order to reinforce the common responsibility of men and women in the upbringing and development of their children, every father is entitled to a reasonable period of time not exceeding 10 working days as paternity leave with pay for every child delivered for him. All this is to ensure that every child receives at least 6 months breastfeeding to ensure a healthy life. The private sector is the engine of growth and the largest employer in which women are key actors in the Gambia and elsewhere. As such, their role and active involvement in the effective implementation of the provision of the Women's Act is essential. Babukar Cham, Program Officer at Governor, dilated on the areas his institution made tremendous achievements.
Governor have strived in the areas of health and nutrition education, food supplementation to pregnant and lactating mothers, partnership and collaboration with like-minded institutions and individuals to promote its goals.
The maternity leave is of significant importance to babies as it gives them adequate time with their mothers at such a crucial period of their infancy, affirms Hannah Foster of ACHRD.
Once you support the woman, you are supporting the family, and one can nurture, help, contribute towards nurturing their babies, the young children. It is shown that to have significant and immediate as well as long-term benefits for the children's well-being, their families, and indeed society. As a growing body of evidence shows, interventions in early childhood are as much more effective than those in later life.
Good nutrition is important to human health, and the Nana Boss Modufal says ensuring good health starts in the womb down through all human development stages, including breastfeeding. Breastfeeding promotes a very special bond between mother and child that only a mother can provide.
The most important thing after the delivery of the child is to ensure that the child has a good start in life. And how do we ensure that child has a good start in life? You start initiating breastfeeding immediately after delivery. Straight after delivery, you can start initiating breastfeeding. There are lots of benefits in initiating breastfeeding immediately after delivery. Studies have shown that most of the maternal or the child mortality, the infant mortality that take place while the child is less than 1 month. And the initiation of breastfeeding within the first hour after delivery really cut down that mortality very well.
FAL also urged all and sundry to make sure a child is breastfed in the first 6 months of their lives. Nyalo Barrow from the Labour Department gives us details about the labour ability.
2007. Which has some parts, about 7 parts, including terms and conditions of employment. We also have what we call a contract of employment and protection of wages. So, and I will also have a special focus on maternity leave, which is the main purpose of the workshop today. Yeah, well, the Labour Act has a lot of conditions that the employers and both employers and employees has to look at and adhere to them, which is 2007. We have started the sensitization on the radio and also in the workshops. We have been invited to many workshops like this one, where we at least sensitize people about this act, because it's very important. When people know about the labor laws as what is obtained in the law, then they will apply the laws. When they apply the laws, of course, the dispute in the workplaces will be reduced.
6-month maternity leave is an act of parliament binding on the entire sector. The idea is born out of the desire to promote the exclusive breastfeeding, in addition to give the mother the chance to personally see the development of her child for 6 good months. For GRTS News, I am Fatika Mareke.
You can also follow that story and other GRTS programs live on our website at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio live, and we'll take our first break. Stay tuned. We will be welcome back. The casket bearing the remains of North Korea's former leader Kim Jong-il was carried around the capital Pyongyang as part of an elaborate funeral procession. There was widespread public mourning with scenes of civilians and the military wailing aloud. The North Koreans, as we hear in this CFI report, are attributing the unprecedented snowfall during the funeral of their dear leader to some spiritual significance.
On December 17th is grandiose. His casket was paraded for 3 hours through Pyongyang, the capital of what is arguably the most walled-off country in the world. It was then placed in the giant mausoleum where his body will be displayed. Tens of thousands of North Koreans, both civilians and military, came to say goodbye to their dear commander with public wailing sessions. The snow is endlessly falling like tears. How could the sky not cry when we have lost our general?
As I see the snowfalls, I shed more tears, thinking about our general's hard work.
Walking next to the limousine was Kim Jong-un, his son and the country's new leader. The 28-year-old has a tough mission ahead of him, taking over a ravaged economy that is dependent on international aid. He must also learn to deal with an extremely powerful army. The new supreme leader of the party, the state, and the army will officially take office on Thursday. It remains to be seen if the third son of the Kim dynasty will follow the hardline politics of his father, or if he will take softer positions regarding his neighbor South Korea and the Asian region.
The party of the veteran opposition figure in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Etienne Tshisekedi, has questioned the essence of the presence of the United Nations mission in the country and urged the chief of the UN mission there to leave the Congo. The rift between the opposition and the ruling party over the results of the controversial presidential poll is still alive. Tshisekedi supporters are meanwhile denouncing his confinement to his house by the security forces. Let's look at this CFI report for more.
The battle in Democratic Republic of Congo between veteran opposition politician Etienne Tshisekedi, who claims he won the presidential elections, and incumbent President Joseph Kabila, who was declared the winner, is the talk of the town. Tshisekedi's party, the UDPS, is denouncing the fact that its leader remains encircled inside his house.
Since this morning, we have been prevented from gaining access to the street that Mr. Tshisekedi lives on. We are all worried about his security.
Police sent to protect him have been withdrawn. The UDPS is demanding that Roger Meese, the head of the United Nations mission in DR Congo, leave the country. The opposition party says the force of 17,000 is not doing its job.
This is too much. What are we going to do with this force here in Congo, which is not protecting anyone and has become a mission of complacency?
The UN mission refused to comment for fear of worsening an already tense political situation, which could decline further when the results of the legislative elections are announced in a couple of weeks.
And before we go, a reminder of our headlines. Recent tensions in Guinea-Bissau have prompted the President of the African Union Commission to jet into Banjul for consultations with the Gambian leader. The Vice President has warned that if the Gambia's dense population remains unchecked, it may pose challenges for environmental sustainability. Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan is seeking to calm jittery nerves with a suggestion that the recent attacks claimed by the Boko Haram group is a struggle between good and evil. And North Korea's leader-in-waiting Kim Jong-un led his late father's funeral cortege against the backdrop of an unprecedented public outpouring of grief. You can also follow that story and other GRTS programs live on our website at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio Live. That brings us to the end of the news. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned and enjoy a range of interesting programs.